For the past couple of years, I've been planning trips abroad across Central Europe and into the Balkans. I'm good at it. People say that I should make videos, so I've decided to start making videos. But this is a retrospective look back at one of the trips that I did. So it was called the Magical Mystery Tour because I had no idea where it was going to go to. And the first ideas were Prague, or the Czech Republic, and Poland, and a mixture of the two if we could. So I looked at fixtures for both areas and waited for the fixtures to get confirmed. First step was to bite the bullet, book the flights, and on this occasion I decided on booking from Luton to Prague and then flying back out from Wroclaw in Poland to Luton. And then I reviewed the fixtures and they came out, and then I had to start planning as to where we would go specifically. So the fixtures on this occasion didn't work great, but I knew that I could get a game in Prague, a game in Brno, and then a game in Pardubice, but nothing in Poland. So off we go. So the flight was an hour and 50 minutes, and it's a great airport to go into. Within minutes of landing, we're through passport control, into an Uber, and we're into the city. I've stayed in this accommodation before. It's great, it's cheap, and it's in Zbrojovka, which is a handy district. I pre-booked a table at Matuska, which is craft beer and meats, and it's only 15 minutes walk from the stadium, so it's a great location to be at. Food was top quality and reasonable, and the beer was just craft beer. It was great, really nice. And then we took a short walk down to Sparta Prague, and the good thing was that it just happened to be that on the Thursday night the timings worked out perfectly, and there was a European game for Sparta against a team from Kazakhstan, who I'm not going to attempt to try and pronounce. Atmosphere was great, food, drinks were great. The game was really quite easy for Sparta, and as you'll see, I think it ended up 4-0. It's not that easy to get tickets for Sparta, but I've got a little handy sort of dodge that I do to do that. Totally legal. I just buy kind of a membership, and it helps you get in. Massive of the Kazakh fans there. Always buy a scarf for my youngest. He's got a collection. And tickets were £20, and beer was £3-ish, and then the scarf was about a tenner from the club shop. And there we go, October, I'm going to guess that. Anyway, next day, up early, alarm bell rings, and we go down to a Georgian bakery. Food was a bit meh, it was okay. And then on to the central station, because it's got a really nice old tea rooms, and it's just nice to sit and have a drink, have a coffee, soak up the atmosphere, and it was just a lovely place to be. So then it was on to the platform, find the train, and it was the Interpanther, which means panther, not pants as it sounds in British English, sorry. On we go, 3 hours down to Brno, and nice, clean, comfortable train, just reserved seat, everything about it was good, and 435 Czech crowns, I think that's about 12-13 quid, something like that, and arrived at the other end, and time for a selfie, and immediately I wanted to find a burger place that I'd looked up through the Honest Guide, who's my favourite Prague guy, who did a video of Brno, and we had the French dip burger. They do one burger at a time, and that's all you get on that day, and I think it was about 12 quid, and that was for like top quality with hand-cut fries and a drink. And there's the chefs who were dead friendly, dead nice, and here's some more shots of the food. Best burger I've ever had. And then it was on to the Airbnb. It's about 30 quid a night, and got that from booking.com, and that was all good. And then we went for a little mooch around Brno. Time for a quick pint with the locals. This was about £2 a pint. Quality Czech beer. It's amazing. Nice quiet place. Everything about it smacked of quality. And then just carried on looking around Brno. Lovely city, no tourists. probably about 30% cheaper than Prague, and time for more drinks. And everything was about £3 a pint, unless you're into the craft beer. There's lots to see, lots of statues, and attractive kind of buildings, and just stunning architecture. Really, just really recommend it as a great city to go to. It was in time for a quick AI-generated fake photo of me e-scootering to wind my kids up. Anyway, more drinks, and then it was kind of a bit dark. Took a bit of a dark turn. Went to the ossuary, which was just across the way, and it's basically the sort of catacombs underneath the cathedral, and it's just a lot of skulls. Didn't take long to look around it, because it was kind of, there was just more and more of the same, and it was just a bit spooky and a bit kind of, it might flatten the mood a little bit. So we carried on wandering around, taking in like the usual kind of street art you get, which is all pretty cool. Just carried on looking around, really. This is the astronomical clock. It got dubbed the astronomical, well, you can kind of guess what it got dubbed as. I better not repeat it. I'll probably get banned from YouTube before I've even started, to be honest. Apparently it spews out a marble every 12 hours or something. Lots of craft beers, the biggest pork knuckle Paul's ever tried to eat, and he failed, and he's ashamed of it, but there we go. But the food was great, reasonable price, and just really good. Great fun, nice place to be. A few drinks, and then next morning up and wander around, and then we went back to Buchek again because the burgers were great, and on the next day it had pulled pork. So it does a different burger every day, and that's your choice. This was like an arty version of a cloud, which was pretty cool, and there was a really nice cafe underneath it, so we had some coffee, and we just kind of wandered around, just carried on wandering around, taking in the sights, being a bit touristy, and it was just nice chilled atmosphere. And then we went to the bunker. I can't tell you why I'm laughing. The guide that was there was quite amusing. Nuclear bunker, and we just wandered around, and then we got the opportunity to sample, obviously, what it was like back then. But it's a very hands-on place, and you can kind of pick stuff up and nose around, and they love you to try on stuff. So you end up putting on stupid hats, coats, and just being mildly silly, really, which is kind of what we do. There's Paul with a gas mask on, which is slightly sinister, if I'm honest. So much so that I had to do it as well. It looks like a sort of niche website. I think you know what I'm saying. That's me, looking fat as a house, and wearing a gas mask, and I'm not wearing safety goggles, those are my glasses. And after that we went for a wander. That's that's supposedly the dragon of Brno, and it's not an alligator. On we went, pre-booked the Star of Brno brewery tour, which was great, and they did this unfiltered beer straight from the keg that was absolutely superb. This was a silly price, it was like stupidly cheap to do the brewery tour. And then off to the football. Zbrojovka Brno, we'll call them Brno. Got there early, had some sausage. Always got to have sausage and beer when you're at Czech or Polish football, and it wasn't that empty by the end, but interesting beer. The crowd was 4,638. Brno were top of the league, and they ended up finishing the season on top and getting promoted. So next year they're in the first league of Czech league. As is quite common, we were really well received by the local fans, and they just want to chat about why you're there and what you're doing, and everything was friendly. We've been recommended by the guide at the brewery to a local pub. So after the game finished, and the away team went over to their fans, and there was literally there was a megaphone, a drum, and that was about it. 4 people. Ended 2-1. We went to the little locals bar afterwards, cash only. All the ultras were in there, got a raised eyebrow, but it was all good. It was about £1.20 a pint, which was amazing. And it went downhill, and we ended up having flaming cocktails, which is not uncommon. Next day, back on the train to Pardubice, or Pardubice, I don't know how to pronounce it. Had a little nap, And Pardubice, there's not much to say about it. It was possibly one of the quietest places I've been to. We went straight into a pub outside the station, which we'd researched, and had a massive plate of schnitzel that would have fed a family of 10. Filled a stomachs up, went to the Airbnb, another one that was about £30 a person a night, great accommodation, and we had a little wander around Pardubice, and there was very little to see. This was the best thing about it, the coffee and the cake, and that's the ticket. Nice and cheap. I think it was about £5 or £6. Had a few drinks, and the weirdest thing about this place, that's the old stadium, outside the stadium, as it were. The weirdest thing was the fact that they were playing Sparta, who we'd seen on Thursday night, and Sparta were the away team, but I reckon 80 to 90% of the stadium was Sparta fans, and it was all mixed. Nobody seemed to care. There was no sort of bother. It was just, to be fair, they did vastly outnumber the home fans, which is just something I can't get my head around. Really, I'm just really amazed by that. It's fair to say Pardubice weren't great. I'm looking back at the rest of the season. I don't think they won another game, and they ended up getting relegated. But it was a good day. We went to see a city that we'd never normally go and see, even though there wasn't much. And the football was okay. It was fine. The atmosphere was great. More beer, more sausage, just the usual. Would I go back to Pardubice? I probably wouldn't bother. Not for any bad reason. It's not really much of a destination. If you go there for the football, you're not going to see a lot more apart from the football. There just genuinely isn't much to do. But yeah, don't regret going. Everything was fine. It was just a little bit boring. Finish up with some shots just of the ground and the score. Sparta, it was an easy win for Sparta. 3-1 as the away team. And finish up with coffee and cake pictures, because that's pretty much all there was to do in Pardubice apart from watch football and drink beer. Not a bad way to be. So next day, onto the train, and the station was like a proper old communist throwback, and it was pretty cool. It's actually the express train that goes from Prague up to Gdansk, so we kind of jumped on one section of it. It was one of the dearest train rides that I've had, but it still wasn't horrific. From Pardubice in Czech Republic up to Wroclaw, had a little wander around, stopped for a drink underneath the town hall for Paul's family reasons, because he's got relatives that went there during the war. Probably better not mention that. Long story. And then you always see loads of these little gnomes. I've been recommended by some Polish friends as to go to this place. That's the Google Lens translation, and it's your standard Polish kebab type thing. It's got a name, Knizia or something similar. Proper locals place. Even the salt cellars were just jam jars with holes punched in the top. Time to do that. Jump on the plane, and that was that. Another trip. Massive success. Great fun. Loved every minute. Adios.